morning, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. Today, we're back with another round of Atlas, and just like clockwork, also welcome to our new follower, Felicia. I'm glad to have you with us today. Today's stream is going to be relatively laid back. We are going to finish the roofing job on our little house here. Now, in the time since our last stream, I did finally figure out how to get the paint to work. So the outside of our house is now mostly painted. Not entirely sure how I feel about the green color, so there's a chance I may switch it around at another time. One thing I really do like, though, is the fact that I can color individual faces. So if I wanted to, I could have the interior painted a different color from the exterior. Yes, it is rather cozy. Main seating area with quite the lovely little view of the outside. And then on our upstairs, we've got 2 bedrooms to either side. Each one has relatively nice views of their own. You can see the little fishing town. And a nice view of the countryside up this way. Now today, like I said, we're finishing the roofing, which I spent the last week gathering all of the remaining materials that I would need for this. The metal was probably the single most time consuming thing to get, by far. But we finally have it, and if I remember correctly. So overall, I need a total of 66 panels. I have 6 up, so I only need to build 60 more. And set those to crafting. At some point I'm going to have to work through my skills again and see. I think there are some that will increase the crafting speed. And rinse and repeat. Oh boy. Okay, so probably best not to grab 40 at a time. I wonder if it's going to end up fighting me on the ladder. No. place from here. There we go. Oh, flashbang. What even did I have that one set as? It's a sad state of affairs when it can't even remember what your own redeems were supposed to be. Let me look at that real quick. Ah, right. Let's see. 5 minutes. Yeah. Alrighty. Need to figure out another way of getting up here. Actually. Okay, that's something new. I have the materials to make a door then. Yeah, pretty much every facet of design on this house has been figuring it out as I go. Which, as I'm sure you can imagine, has come with mixed results. Come on. Not the worst possible look. It does stick out a little bit, but I can tolerate that. Honestly though, I'm just happy to finally have the main structure portion of the house complete. It could certainly use a bit more aesthetic work. Like, by and large, that doesn't look half bad. Close that. The next fun part is, eventually furnishing some of these rooms. I might do that as like a community awards type thing. Let members of the community pick out a room and have it furnished. So, our next task is going to be building out our smithy. Large stone foundation. If I remember correctly, for this I'm going to need, for the alloys, that's a metal, 2 units of a metal, and then it's mixed with something else. I need to build the forge for that, so let's go ahead. We'll just find a spot to like slap it down real quick. So 2 iron, a wood, and a coal. So I'll need to gather at least 300 iron for the alloy. Which, you know what? I think that's the route that I will go. Because I do have a few of these I can place, and I'll probably use these stone floors for at least part of the construction. Um, but I do want the bulk of it to use this. So with that in mind, let's craft a couple of new climbing picks. Because I've learned from previous experience that these do kind of degrade quickly. Now that our 5 minutes is up. There we these repaired here as well. Alright. Let's go get some lumber. So we'll kind of chill out here, wait for our stamina to replenish. Hate when it does that. What are you doing all the way up here? I have absolutely no need for any more coconut. Wonder. Do you take ball damage? Hmm. Let's see. Nice. Now the return trip back down is going to be interesting. Naturally, I do have a couple of options. I could manually climb back down, or I could find a point that's, directly overlooking some water and hope that it's deep enough that when I dive in, I don't die. I don't like the fact that I can't really see the ground in a lot of these spots. It's like, oh boy, that could be a real nasty fall. respectable amount of distance on that toss. Let's explore the skull cave a little bit more. If I remember correctly, there's supposed to be something to these. This makes me wonder. I think should, maybe not right now, but eventually I should get access to pipes. I wonder how much of a absolute pain it'd be to route some pipes from like up here to a holding cistern or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a really obnoxiously long distance to have to route pipe works across. 'Cause, yeah, my house is all the way over there. Granted, I could probably build, the primary cistern get out of my field of view. I could build a primary cistern right down here, about, and then figure out some piping directly that way. And even if it doesn't go all the way to my house, having something a little bit closer could certainly be nice. Because this open area here would actually, that could actually be pretty good for some farmland, you know, planter beds and such. Decisions, decisions. That's the mouth. That's one of the eyes. See if we can get to that. Hmm. Let's trade out. Okay. So let's sit for a little bit. Oh, what do you guys think? Could I survive that drop? Not this one. Dang it! Ah, well. At least I know exactly where my body's at, and it's, fortunately for me, in a spot that I can fairly easily get to. Actually be kind of interesting to get up to. Oh, ain't that perfect. Hmm. Alright. The thing is, we've got some time before the body despawns, so should have enough time to run back to my house again, craft another set of climbing picks, and then come back. Banzai. Another fine mess I've managed to get myself into. And truth be told, I'm not the least bit surprised about that. And back we go. You see, class, this is exactly how I managed to provide at least some menial entertainment, even in a game like Atlas. I inevitably do something stupid. There we go. Alright. Now, back up the mountainside, because there's still... Actually, no. First, we're going to drop off all the material that we've already gathered. And then we'll go right back up the mountainside for another round of harvesting. And hopefully this time I don't end up falling to my death again. Let's see, how are we doing on materials here? Okay, so I just need the alloy. 150, which means 150 each of wood and coal. I think we're good there, so now I just need 300 metal. Okay, so I actually don't even need to go back out for more wood. Just need to do a whole bunch of mining. I have to go fishing again soon. What fun. Alright. If there is one task that I'm not especially fond of, it's mining. Especially when you're specifically hunting for metals. Because it really does just take so long. Ah, nice. Good amount of quartz off of this one. amethyst. And something else I'll eventually need to do is get my ship repaired up a bit because, over time it does take damage just sitting in the ocean. So I'll have to take some wood, thatch, and fiber out and give it some repairs. Then probably have to move on to another island eventually. I think I've still got some time before I absolutely have to. But there's going to come a point where I will need other metals, besides just iron. Back we go to repair our pickaxe. Craft another one of those just to have it in my inventory. That way I can stay out for a little bit longer. Before I have to run back for another round of tool repairs. How'd you look at that? Here comes the sun. another geode. Nice. So we're up to 78 metal in this current trip. Forget whether or not I dropped off what I previously had. I think I did. Pretty sure that I did. The fun bits is I am starting to learn, that some of the rocks, they don't all give the same resources. Like these ones just give, and these ones don't give any of the iron, just the salt and limestone. These ones can give iron as well, and sometimes will also toss you a geode. These ones are quartz, and sometimes a geode. We're gonna have to run back to the house real quick to pick up some more food. Ah, salt. So I do need to cook some more fish. back we go. Fortunately, if I remember correctly, there are some berry plants nearby. So I can at least harvest from those. Have a little something to eat. Biz cilantro is good too. Anyways, every time when I start thinking, it's been a minute since I last had to deal with this stupid bot, one of them comes up. $285. That should give me just shy of 300 that I'll need. Do I have enough for that? Okay. I'm realizing, at some point I am going to have to go through and, in order to build the foundation that I want, to build on, I'm going to have to build a forge and have it running long enough that the quick pickup timer is going to expire, which means I will then have to tear it down and then build a new one, since the demolish gives you only a partial return on resources spent to build a structure. So we want to make sure that we have enough on hand. Excuse me. We want to make sure that we have enough resources on hand to build a new forge. Tellurite. What I might end up doing is refitting my ship and turning it into a uh, water hauler. I think there's something that I can craft that, because I can craft barrels and carry those and place them. It'd be interesting to see if I could, like, empty them inside, like a, like the cistern or reservoir, whatever it is that they have it labeled as. Or if I'd have to, like, manually do it, with jars or something like that. Oh, nice. Gotta level up. Take that back over. So that's everything that I will need. For the forge. Plus we got a good stack of wood. Let's see. Cooking and farming. Ah, pipes. Use to store water. I'll have to see if I can, like, you if I could, like, put a barrel in it to store water or not. It's raining. Oh, this would actually be the perfect time to put a water barrel out. I think it might only be able to do 100 at a time. So, alright. Since it's raining, it will slowly accumulate water since I've got the lid open. I just have to remember that as soon as the rain stops, I need to close it. And now we wait. One of the things that I'll need to do eventually is a bit more exploration. Because I haven't really explored a whole lot of area. Not as of yet. And yeah, there's a lot of map to explore. This reminds me, I never allocated any skills. Let's see. Half the fun is just trying to decide, okay, where do I want to dump points? Do you kind of want to get up to the rifle? Alrighty. That's going to take a bit before I can get down to Secrets of the Rifle. What if that lets me craft those here now? Firearms. Flintlock. Gunpowder, which needs almost there. I'm kind of curious now to see just how well that actually works. Alright, so craft one of those. Why is that one of those things I can only craft in my personal inventory? Looks like. Stone. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go hunting for some more iron. What fun. Before I go, let's close the lid on our water barrel so that we don't have all of the water evaporate out of it. As that would be very inconvenient. It's not going to be too much longer before I have to stop and eat again. That's okay. 10 iron doesn't take too long to gather. Huh. So it goes through a whole reload mechanic. Hold still. Alright. Take care. Appreciate you stopping by for today's stream. I wonder if the pistol works underwater at all. That'd be an interesting thing. Well, no, because most of the fish at most only take 2 spears, at least in my experience. So I don't think it would be particularly worthwhile to use a firearm for fishing. I can just keep using spears for that. Regular hunting though, that definitely just got made a whole lot easier. We'll process that a little bit later. Alright, first things first though. Where do we want to set our foundation? I feel like having it close to the shoreline, near water, would, you know, make at least some contextual sense. Don't necessarily want it directly in line from the seating area. Maybe set it a little, maybe not directly in line, right about here. A little ways away from the house. Let's grab that stone flooring. Okay, perfect. That does snap to it nicely. Start with a little bit of build up on this side. And for our forge itself, I want to build up at least a few walls around it. Which is going to take a whole lot more metal. And the mining. Food first, and then back to the mining. Anyways, now back to the mining. Right. Looks like got a couple treasure maps out there. Common map. And another common map. Ooh, even more rock salts. One of the things I find kind of funny with this is the fact that, everything that I'm currently building is like needlessly expensive in terms of the resource cost going into it. Because, like, I could 100% build this smithy out of, like, thatch walls and all that. And it would work out, just fine. I mean, honestly, where's the fun in that? Because, I mean, if we're going to build it, may as well build it to look nice. I think that should be enough iron, for the time being at least. Have that ready to go. There we go, a whole 10 stone walls. So for this back face, we'll do 3 across like that behind. Across this side, we'll do a couple bits of the stone railing. And now I have to go back and grab the forge again. Where did I drop it? Perfect. I'm going to have so many of those maps before too much longer. Alright. Now we take our forge. We bring it just forward like so. I don't want it. Okay. I'll need to think about some of that placement a little bit more. And of course, now is why I start getting a phone call. It's important, they'll leave a message. I wonder. I should have done half walls instead of the, like half wall at the base and then railing. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get something figured out for that. But for the time being, yeah, we've got our forge. And then I'll get, another crafting table set in probably. I might build it just kind of right over here in this corner. So that way, I can work off of, or, well, see, the geometry of it is such. I probably want it facing into this wall here. But that'll still let me, I can stand here, do work on the forge, turn around, work on the crafting table, and stack in a bunch of storage. Which I think that'll definitely be nice. This main area, keep it relatively open, but I think the storeroom itself I will enclose and whatnot. So probably build that. Oh, so I can't actually. Interesting. I wonder if I could build like a stone floor across and then snap the walls to it. That is interesting. That is very interesting indeed. I guess I should have read up a little bit more on some of the placement and building mechanics for some of these things. Let's see. I want to try building one of those stone reservoirs. I think I needed like 15 for that. 12. Okay, so let's see here. Interesting. Do you mind? Okay, so I can stick a water barrel in that, and it'll fill the water barrel, but I can't empty a water barrel into it. I swear I'm about ready to test the effectiveness of my flintlock on you. Go away. Alrighty. That is good to know that, I can stick a water barrel into the reservoir. Might come in handy later. I wonder if I can run a pipe off of a water barrel. Carotenoid. Oh no. That will be. I'll be an experiment for another time. For now, though, I think that will bring us to the end for today's stream. I gotta say, I'm quite pleased with the fact that I was able to, get the rest of the roofing done, as well as at least get a start on laying out our smithy. So, you know, I'd say, overall, a decently successful stream. There's still a few things that I need to figure out as far as with the placement of structures and whatnot. Excuse me. A few things to figure out with the placement of structures, especially with those foundations. Um, which I'll work on that over the course of this coming week. Um, but as things stand, we've made a good amount of progress on building and establishing our base. I'm quite happy with that. Um, Upcoming streams, Monday, we're going to be jumping in for some MechWarrior Online. Um, and then Friday, we'll be doing some more Elite Dangerous. So, um, that's what I've got for the coming week for you guys. And again, I appreciate you guys stopping by for today's stream. And until next time, take care, everyone.